Hey internet friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay, LiJo. Hey, how are you? Glad you made it here. Before I get started, if you guys want to book time with me, my link for Snug is down below. We could talk on subjects like this or other ones. But today we're going to be talking about INTJ Entrepreneur. You know, when I was younger, I thought there was no way that I would ever want to own a business. Are you kidding? Like, not interested. But then the universe and my functions came into play. So we're going to talk about some of the functions, the drive that they kind of create to want to develop business and kind of this entrepreneurial side of us. Anyone can be an entrepreneur, but what is it about the INTJ's functions that make them want to, and in the beginning, not want to go down this route of life? So let's get started. So when I was younger, I remember thinking many times about how I didn't want to own a business because essentially I had a fear, and that was of the paperwork, the taxes, the line by line items, all of the necessary, which I know now, SI items that need to be attended to. I knew long beforehand that those were things that were going to be so necessary for having a good business, a successful business, and I just wanted nothing to do with them. The other thing was that I had really this inherent kind of fear about was the FE. The fact that if you are to own a business, that you have to, be more people focused. You have to really attend to the social spectrum in some sort of way, at least the way that I thought of it. And I just remember having a few experiences, when I was younger, of being in more of these social business type interactions. And I remember one time I had a boss who brought me to some kind of networking event. He was like, "Lindsay, you don't have to wear a nice dress. We're going to be talking to people." And I was like, oh gosh. And I just remember getting there in the car and being completely soaking wet with sweat, because I was just like, there's going to be all these people and they're going to want to talk about stuff, and I have to talk about the business and represent it correctly. And there's going to be small talk, and it just seems so overwhelming. But do you know what? Here's the good thing, is that I went through the thing, but it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, once it was over, And so it's like anything that's kind of uncomfortable for a period of time. It's uncomfortable in the moment, but then it's just like, okay, then it's over, So, and what I think happens with INTJs is that when you're younger, these things seem like more of a hurdle, but then with life experience, like my boss dragging me to that event, you realize that, do you know what? It's tolerable. All right, so here come the savior functions in full force, okay? So all of a sudden, at some point in your life, quite possibly as an INTJ, your NI is going to get a big picture that is somewhat, could be business oriented, that you can no longer unsee. Now, factors that may play into this vision may be the time frame in which society is currently existing. It may be the technology that has or has not been developed, and it may be your projections of value as it relates to the future. So NI has all this going on, right? Then your TE is like, I can figure out how to make that work. Your TE, with the help of NI, can find solutions that make that vision work relatively easily, right? In a conceptual way, figuring out how to effectively get there. The only thing that's left is to actually physically make it happen in the real world. And, all intuitives, we're forced to live and operate in the real world. So we do have some experience in this area. The truth of the matter is that as an entrepreneur, the level of reality and sweat equity that will be required of you is going to be way more than you ever thought you'd want to give. But now the future vision of your NI is dependent on you sucking it up and grinding through some of that SE sensory to actually get that NI piece accomplished. It can be overwhelming, and it's definitely really overwhelming at times. But at the end of the day, if your NI is on board of what you want the thing to be, the creation, the vision, you know, it's so clear. That's what I can say about NI is like, it's very clear. It was very clear to me what I wanted to create. And the T is like, yeah, well, here's how we go. Here's how we go about getting there. And you're just like, okay. And then, you know, a lot of us have that value of time. It could be another value that's placed in there for the FI. For me, time, right? Most valuable research. I'm able to give my energy and my time to something that supports my vision. It's okay. And then all that's left is just to make the sensory happen. And I think some of those other functions that I had mentioned in the beginning, like SI and FE, in the beginning of our lives, I can see a lot more overwhelming. But at the end of the day, the vision must be complete. The thing must be done. And that's why I think a lot of INTJs end up going down a more entrepreneurial route at some point in life and end up usually finding success there. Again, people can be entrepreneurs for a whole bunch of reasons. It's such a weird word, isn't it? Everyone has their own motivation, right? Everyone has their own functions that are dictating how their life moves forwards. But that's how I see it as it relates to the INTJ functions. I hope you guys got some understanding out of this video. I'll see you in my next one. Again, if you'd like to book time with me, my link for Snug, my platform, is down below. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.